Okay, we're on.
Hello everyone, welcome to day 20 of our Christmas fragrance countdown. You're joining me in the organ loft and you're in fact sat on my organ as we speak. Welcome to Dan, my very good friend and fellow fragrance lover and enthusiast. So we've come to talk to you today about a fragrance from Imaginary Authors, which is a wonderful house. Dan, can you fill us in a little bit more?
Okay, so it's an American house. The perfumer is Josh Meyer, based in Oregon, I think. And I guess he kind of turns the idea of perfumery on its head a bit, in that in a lot of your Advent fragrances, you've talked about the kind of transportative potential of perfume and how it can make you think of a place, like Leda des Marocains, makes you think of Morocco, Timbuktu, a really good example, and the way you can smell it and it kind of take you there. And so I guess he's done it slightly a different way around, in that he's created some imaginary authors with some imaginary books and some imaginary excerpts, which kind of plant an idea in your head. And so this example, shall we hold it up? So
yes.
They actually kind of, it's almost like a book. So there it is. I'll try not to drop it on the floor. And so this one is Cape Heartache.
Yeah, very emotional.
And he gives you a really specific notes list as well. So I think a lot of perfumers want to, they don't want to give you the notes list because they want you to think it's this aura of magic which you don't understand.
Yeah.
Whereas again, he does the opposite, and he gives you some kind of very specific notes, such as Douglas fir, pine resin, hemlock, vanilla leaf, strawberry, old forest growth, and then he always includes an imaginary note, which is mountain fog.
Wow, what does mountain fog smell like?
I've got no idea.
We should explore that at some point.
But I mean, right. So I haven't smelled this. So this is the bottle itself.
You're in for a treat.
So I do own this, but I've basically around quite a while ago. I mean,
it's incredible.
So I'm just going to spray it on myself.
A drop of that as well.
So I mean, straight away you get. I mean, there's pine and cedar.
Hugely green, isn't it? Straight away.
It's green, so it's not just.
Wow.
It's not just kind of cedar trees. It's also this kind of like vegetal growth.
Yeah.
You can imagine you've kind of trampled through a forest. But then there's also a kind of slight burnt quality. It's not a burn. I don't think it's a burning quality. I think it's a burnt quality.
Yeah. So it's already happened, isn't it? Like a campfire, smoky residue
that's
left.
been kind of smouldering and. Oh, it's so good.
Incredible.
Actually. I mean, I think some people say this is a bit too acrid, but I think it's.
No. And the thing that makes this fun straight away, a note on top, which is not necessarily something you'd first think of, which is
strawberry.
Yeah, amazing.
And it's not just. The thing is, it's not just. It doesn't smell like a fresh strawberry. To me, what it smells like strawberry chapstick or strawberry hairspray. It smells quite a cheap synthetic strawberry.
Quite poppy.
Yeah, exactly.
Teeny popper.
Yeah, well, very exactly teeny. And so that's
which is what we are really.
Exactly.
Deep down at heart. Yeah.
And so that's so. And then we get back to the name of Cape Heartache, and what that could suggest. So he gives us an idea. He gives us a quote from.
Get the tissues.
Yeah. It's
very emotional.
So this imaginary author is Philip Saver.
Philip Saver,
Saver.
Who I actually looked up the first time I read it, thinking he was an author and that there was a novel.
But
I just missed the point,
He's imaginary. Anyway, so this is the little quote they give you. If you're looking for the pieces of a broken heart, you might try rifling through the twigs and needles on the forest floor. And to me,
that's what it does.
To me, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I really get a very vivid idea of some kind of, American lumberjack who's there, and the forest is just dying away, and he's there with the kind of 16, 17-year-old girl who he's just taken away from the city, and she's wearing this kind of like strawberry chapstick.
That's what it is.
And it's such an unusual kind of combination, and I know some people might think that the strawberries are maybe a bit synthetic, and people tend to think, synthetic is bad.
Not at all.
That's another conversation, but it gives you, such a vivid idea, and it makes it just smell unlike anything else, I think.
And it's the sort of fun aspect in something which otherwise would be quite serious and quite dark in a sense, like Fion Yonggi by Serge Lutens or Arso, which from Perfume and Roma, which we both have, and they're very smoky, pine resin, but there's no fun aspect.
No, I mean
this is very Christmassy, I would say.
This doesn't smell like, you know, if you think of incense, it doesn't smell churchy.
No, not at all.
It doesn't smell like an incense stick. It doesn't even really, there's a hint of kind of Christmas tree, but
yeah,
there's so much. I mean, I don't know what hemlock smells like, but there's certainly this kind of feeling of, you know, damp moss that you walk through in a forest.
Imagine walking through a forest after there's been a huge forest fire, but you happen to be smelling of something strawberry and light and fruity. But that combination is just incredible. An interesting fact with these, like I said in the soft lawn review that we did the other day, the biggest player in all of these fragrances, the biggest player in all of these fragrances is your imagination.
Absolutely.
Really, so you can read the notes and you can smell it and go that way, or you can actually just wear the thing and see what it conjures up.
Yeah,
which is a fun thing as well.
I think that there are some fragrances which give you like an overall feeling of an emotional or a place, whereas this for me is a very set idea of lumberjack, 16-year-old girl,
totally.
campfire.
That's what it is.
Lots of fun had by from.
It's very poppy, but it's a fantastic house, isn't it? Maybe we should talk about some of the others in passing.
Yeah. Also, there's the soft lawn,
Beautiful.
which is tennis balls and a fresh
linden
lawn
blossom, which you don't find often in what you'd consider to be the kind of cutting edge of niche perfumery. It's sort of coming out now with Beaver from Zoologist as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But then there's some I don't know, some smells which you might not think would be nice. There's what's the one with tarmac in? Is that the Cobra and the Canary?
Do you know, I can't remember. I think it's the Cobra and the Canary.
Anyway,
yeah,
but there's
sort of asphalty tar thing.
Yeah, there's one which is supposed to smell like a road trip, so it's kind of burnt asphalt, which sounds horrible, but it works really well.
Absolutely stunning though. Falling into the sea.
Falling into the sea, which smells of
huge aquatic-y thing.
Yeah, and there's kind of hints of kind of like ice cream and lychee and things like that.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
Totally amazing.
Anyway, and they sell them in Bloom, which is in Covent Garden, or Rouleau White, which is in East Dulwich. They all do samples as well.
And we've spent a lot of time there smelling these things, and constantly we go into that place, or any place, in fact, completely unaware of what we're going to smell.
Yeah.
And often it takes us in a new direction altogether. So I've gone into a shop, for instance, wanting something leathery and heavy and boozy, and I've come out with something sort of fresh and uplifting. In fact, when I bought this, I was going to buy a fragrance from Zoologist. I think I was going to buy Civet, and I walked out with this because I smelled it close up and I fell in love straight away. And I think that's what they do. They captivate you immediately.
Yeah. I think this will be very love or hate for people because it's so distinctive. So you know, do smell before you buy.
Yeah.
But I think we better stop because it's getting too long. But this is Cape Heartache by Imaginary Authors. Bye.
See you next time.
Happy smelling.